Hi everyone, my name's Louise and welcome to my channel. If you're new here, I run the Life with Scoliosis blog where I blog about my experiences and life with scoliosis. Scoliosis is a sideways curvature of the spine which I was diagnosed with when I was 14 and I had spinal fusion correction surgery about 11 years ago now. So I live my life with scoliosis and a fused spine. So my blog and this YouTube channel are all about my life and how I deal with having scoliosis on a daily basis. So this video is all about my top 5 tips for working from home with scoliosis. It could also be applied to anybody that has any other back condition, back pain, or anything like that, and are also working from home. I wanted to make this video because I've been working from home now for over 18 months due to the pandemic, which I never thought it would have been something that I would be doing a few years ago. But what I've noticed is in these last 18 months is that my back pain has been a lot worse. I've had a few issues with my shoulder. I've just felt generally more stiff and uncomfortable, and I think it's because I've been pretty much sitting in one position for quite a long time, every single day, and just generally not been moving around as much as I would have been if I was in the office. So over the last 18 months, I've basically been experimenting with different ways of sitting, positioning my office, different techniques, and I just wanted to share some of my findings in the hope that it might help somebody else in a similar position. Obviously, these tips are based on my own experiences with scoliosis and working from home. If you have scoliosis or any other back condition and you're finding that you're getting more pain as a result from working from home, I would really recommend that you speak to a doctor, a physiotherapist, and your employer as well to see if they can help alleviate some of your discomfort and pain whilst working from home. My first tip for people that are working from home and have scoliosis is to move around as much as you can throughout the day. I think from my experience, working from home, it's really easy just to sit in one position for the entire day, but this is really bad for your back, whether you have scoliosis or not really. In my case, I find that having the condition that I have, being in one position for any amount of time is really bad and causes me quite a lot of pain and stiffness. So what I basically try to do is get up as much as I can throughout the day, whether that's to make a drink, go to the toilet, or just have a bit of a walk around the house. It's really important for me to move around as much as I can to give my back a break from being in the sitting down position. One tip is if you have a Fitbit or a fitness watch, some of them you can set a reminder to move on the watch so that it will buzz and give you a bit of a reminder, which can be quite helpful just to make sure that you're not sat down for longer than needed. My second tip is linked to the last one, is to try and go for a walk if you can at lunchtime, or even if it's before work or after work. Just try and break up the day with a walk. I find that really helps me, not only with my back to try and relieve a bit of the pain and stiffness from sitting down, but also just to help my mental health as well, and just get away from the computer and just have a proper break from work. Because I think working from home, it's so easy for the boundaries of work and home life to be blurred. A lot of people end up taking less breaks than they would if they were in the office. So I really try, if I can, every day to have at least half an hour where I go out for a walk and just really disconnect from work if I can. And so it doesn't only help my back, but it helps me to de-stress as well and be more productive afterwards, and just break up the day as well. Because if you think about it, if when you were in the office, a lot of people would have had a commute maybe. You might go to the shop at lunchtime to get some lunch. You're walking around the office, you go into meetings, depending on what you do for a job, obviously. But in my case, I was working in an office, so I was walking around quite a bit. I wasn't just sat at my desk all day, whereas at home, I'm just literally sat at my desk all day. So it's just walking, even if it's for like 15 minutes at lunchtime, it's just to break up the day and get some steps in as well that you'd be missing out on. My third tip is to make sure that you have a decent chair at home. So this is pretty crucial for anybody, but even more so if you have scoliosis. I know that some people might be sat at home working from the kitchen table or from their bedroom, which is completely fine for a short while, but I think longer term it can cause quite a lot of problems and quite a lot of pain. When I was at the office, I had quite a decent chair. Because they knew about my back condition, they brought in a health and safety specialist who recommended the best chair for me for my situation. And at the start of lockdown, I didn't really think about my chair. So when I started working from home, I just used an old office chair that I had already at home. And I noticed after a few months of working from home in this chair, it really started to hurt my back quite a lot. And I really, really noticed the difference between that chair and the one that I had at work. So eventually I went into my office and I got the chair from work and brought it home, and it's made a massive difference. I also have a memory foam cushion behind me as well when I'm sat down on that chair, but the chair has a memory foam base as well, and it's just a really good chair. So I'd say if you have scoliosis and you're working from home and you're getting back pain, just think about your chair. Make sure that you've got a good one that's specific for your situation. And if you've got any concerns about your chair, then if possible, then your employer should be able to help you get the best chair for your needs. If you're wondering what chair I have, I'll put a link in the description below. But I find in general chairs are a bit hit and miss with scoliosis, especially because I've had spinal fusion. A lot of office chairs are uncomfortable because they have like a mesh back to them. I can't mould my back to the chair, so I find them quite uncomfortable. To be honest with you, a lot of the time I don't really use the back of the chair, so I find that I have to sit in a chair and figure out whether it's comfortable. I can't just buy a random chair off the internet. So I just wanted to show you the chair that I have at the moment of working from home. So it has a memory foam base, which means it's very comfy and it takes the pressure off my legs when I'm sitting in it all day. It's extremely padded and comfy. Also the back, I don't tend to sit back in the chair too much, but I tend to have memory foam cushion which I put against the chair, and then I've got memory foam padded chair and a memory foam behind me as well. If you're like me and have a spinal fusion, I'd probably recommend, rather than buying a chair online, if there is somewhere you can go to test out the chair and see how comfortable it is for your back before you buy it, then that's probably the best idea. My next tip is to check your desk and office setup. So it's really important for anybody, not just if you have scoliosis, to have your desk set up in the correct way. Your place of work should be able to help you with this and carry out a health and safety risk assessment for working from home. But when I first started working from home, my office was not set up in the correct way. I didn't have my laptop raised up, for example, and I did get quite a lot of neck ache as a result of that because I was like looking downwards. It's little things like that can make a massive difference. Also, I found I was getting quite a lot of shoulder pain because I've got 2 screens, and I did go to the physio and he said it was likely due to the fact that I was twisting quite a lot throughout the day to look at the second screen, which I'd never really noticed that I was doing. But I suppose if you're in one position for, quite a lot of time throughout the day, then little things like that over time will cause tension and pain in your back. So definitely look at how your desk is set up, and if possible, if you've got access to somebody that can help you with your desk setup, like your employer, I'd definitely take advantage of that if you can. And another thing that I've invested in very recently is a stand-up desk, which has made a massive difference for me. So the stand-up desk has basically 2 settings. The one I've got is an electronic one, so you can program it to be level with where it needs to be when you're sat down to your specific height, and then you press a button and it raises up to your specific height again that you need when you're standing. For me, having scoliosis and spinal fusion, it's made a massive difference to my back pain, to my discomfort. Like I said before in the start of the video, if I'm in one position for any length of time, whether that's sitting down or standing, I will start to get lower back pain. And the beauty of the stand-up desk that I've got is that as soon as I start to feel a bit of discomfort when I'm sat down, I can stand up, and vice versa. And what I try to do is throughout the day, I will sit down for half an hour or so, then I'll stand up for an hour, sit down for another hour, stand up for another hour. So I'll mix it up, and that seems to work quite well for me, and I have noticed a huge difference in my back pain. So I would say definitely a stand-up desk is worth looking into. If you work from home full-time like myself and have scoliosis, I would definitely look into stand-up desks, and I'll put the link below to the one that I've recently purchased as well, if it's of any interest. So my final tip for working from home with scoliosis is to try and fit in some stretches or yoga, Pilates, that sort of thing in throughout the day. I don't have time to do it every single day, but on the days that I do it, so sometimes I do about 15 minutes or so of stretches at lunchtime or after work, I really do notice the difference. It really does help to loosen up my back, just doing a few stretches. Sometimes I'll do them at my desk. Now I've got a stand-up desk, I can do stretches and heel raises and things like that at my desk while I'm working, which really does help me quite a lot. So I'd definitely say if you can fit them in throughout the day, even if you're at your desk, definitely try to fit in some stretches and you'll notice a difference. So those are my top tips for working from home with scoliosis. They're things that have helped me over the last 18 months or so manage my pain better whilst working from home. I'd love to hear your own experiences and your own tips, so please feel free to leave me a comment below if you have anything that helps you while you're working from home, or any other thoughts on pain whilst working from home. I'd love to hear your own experiences. And if you've enjoyed this video, then please subscribe to my channel. It really helps me out, and I'm planning on releasing regular videos about scoliosis, my life with scoliosis. So if you'd be interested in that, then please subscribe to my channel and I'll see you soon. Thanks for watching. Bye.